And I am fortunate enough today to start off the program with the Mayor of Cessnock, Jay Suvaal. Jay is going to come in to let us know what's happening in this lovely town of Cessnock. Morning, Jay. How are you going?
Good morning, Catherine. I'm going very well.
Well, that's good. So you've got a lot of news for us today?
Yeah, so I just wanted to update everyone on a couple of things that happened at the council meeting on Wednesday night.
Oh, fine.
So you probably recall it's been an ongoing development proposed out in Lovedale opposite the vintage golf resort there. It was originally called Golden Bear Resort. It's now called the Lovedale Farm. So we've supported a planning proposal for that to see it go ahead. It's an integrated tourist and residential development that will also have a Darius Oliver designed golf course there. And for those that don't know who he is, like I didn't before this project, he has the #1 designed golf course in the country at the moment. So it's set to be quite a really good course and bringing more tourist residential development up here for that area, but really making us that international golf destination. We've got fantastic golf courses at the moment, whether it's the Vintage, Crown Plaza, out at Cypress Lakes, and so this will bring another top-class course to the region so people can come here, stay longer and play multiple courses.
Oh, so golf's very popular around here?
Yes, yeah, it is, and very much for tourists as well. So people come and they can go and play some golf in the morning, do a visit out to the vineyards of an afternoon and relax and play multiple courses. So the more of these top-class courses that we've got, the longer that they're likely to stay, and the more money they will then spend in our local area.
Very good. So,
The other things we've looked at where we've got a draft climate change policy. We know federally and at a state level they're looking at net zero by 2050 and working through ways for that. We've looked at a policy which, as we put through, not only is there to improve our local environment, but looking at things that we can do to actually save us money. And over the time, it's looking at, I think, there's a potential $6 million saving over the life of the policy. But no commitments on that yet. What we want to do is go out to the community, get their feedback, make any changes we need to do, and then come back to council.
Yeah, so you get a good feedback from the community?
Not as much as I would like. I encourage everyone to go onto council's website. On the main page there's a Have Your Say button, and it lists all the things we're after community feedback on. We try and promote it on social media as well. Things are available at the libraries. So we want people to engage more with this, because we want the policies of council to reflect what the community wants, and so the more feedback we can get, the better that will be.
Well, you're doing that on social media and on your webpage. What about the people that are not computer savvy? Do you take them into account?
Yeah, we try and do local media as well, so things in the advertiser, or whether it's me talking about it here, letting people know when we've got something coming up, and that way if there's something going on they can talk to a councillor, talk to the council staff at the office there. I know if people go into the libraries, the library staff are amazing. They'll be able to help people look at the information, and if they need to use a computer there, we've got computers available, and they can help them set that up and put in any feedback that they want to do.
Sounds good.
We're also looking at trying to reduce some red tape for events around the area. So currently sort of temporary events that are under 500 people estimated for the event don't need a DA. We're looking at what criteria we can put in place to have people, for whether it's a smaller event and moving that up to 1,000, or whether it's sort of a medium-size event up to about 5,000, what things need to be in place. And if you can tick the boxes, whether it's the certain amount of parking that you need and the toilet amenities and other facilities that you need for those kind of events, if you can tick those boxes, then not having to go through the red tape of lodging a development application.
Well, how are they going to police that?
Well, just the same way as we sort of police things now through our compliance officers. So the unfortunately there are going to be some people that don't follow the rules, but they're the same people that don't follow the rules now that we've got to chase up are going to be the ones that do it later on. So for the people that are there looking at it, we want to make it easier for them. We want events around the town. We want people to be engaged. We want people coming here, and we don't want to make it more cumbersome to get an event happening. So we're looking at that. That'll also go out on community exhibition for feedback. So we want people to comment on that as well and let us know what they think before it comes back to council. And then while we're talking about these fantastic events, we've got the Nostalgia Festival in Curry on the 25th of March. It's a great event coming back. Really looking forward to it this year. Council's just endorsed at the meeting just over $11,000 in in-kind support for that, for works that we need to do around the waste and
So is that only one day?
I think it's over the weekend as usual, but so it's kicking off I think on the Saturday. I think it does. So
it's always been very popular, hasn't it, that Nostalgia Festival?
It certainly has. People come from everywhere to visit. It's a really good thing for our Curry community.
Oh, that's for sure.
And we've been trying to improve the process around our delivery program, getting it to a more realistic target. We've reviewed that at the end of the December quarter, so it's basically a half-yearly review of where we're at the moment, and trying to see where we're up to, what things that we are still realistic that we're heading towards, what things are just not going to continue. And a lot of that's around the capital works program. We had originally, it's gone up well over $70 million in that capital budget. There's not the capacity to get all of that done. So we're looking at which ones are likely to be deferred off, and so we've brought that back down to around about $56 million. Well, I'm not quite sure we're still going to hit the $56 million. You do need a bit of carryover each year, so you don't have any issues around the change of the financial year, but we are on track at the moment still for what is projected to be a record spend on capital works. So we've been trying to build capacity over the years and starting to see that happen. And it's one of the key goals that I wanted to do as mayor, is to make sure that we do build that capacity so we can keep increasing the amount of works we do each year. And also that sort of the review as part of that process, we review where our budget's tracking at the end of December. So again, another half-yearly review of where things are looking. We're projected for a $28.5 million operating surplus, but when you take out things like the capital grants and contributions, it falls back to about a $5.2 million deficit. Now, this deficit's made up two primary things for making up the deficit on that are the natural disasters that we've just had. We received funding. We got $2 million, I think, worth of funding in last financial year. When they happened, we get an early bump up of funding, and then we've got to go and do all the works. And most of the works have been undertaken in this financial year. So that means there's no income coming in for them because that's accounted last year, and there's there's about $2.9 million worth of expenditure. So we're actually spent more than what we've got, and hopefully over time that gets worked out with the governments about when we get it back and things. But it's at the moment that's $2.9 million that we've spent this year on the natural disaster works, and also around depreciation. There's almost $1 million worth of extra depreciation accounting, which is not a cash amount, but it's money we need to be mindful of. We've got to review our depreciation based on the replacement cost of things, and with inflation so high, and inflation in the sort of construction industry well over 20%, it's increased the replacement value of all our roads, all our other things. So, and then we need to depreciate more off that. So,
like with the roads, like as you know, most people are more or less concerned about the potholes.
Yes.
So have you a program to look at addressing that?
We do, and just on the budget thing though, just to let people know, the important thing remains is our cash position is actually very strong. So we're in a strong cash position. This is an accounting depreciation on the budget. And something we need to actually do we need to be employing staff, we need to be doing works, and looking at the roads and looking at fixing the potholes around the place. And so I don't want to see a push to look at cutting services or cutting programs to fix up that depreciation. I'd prefer to have it sitting there, look at the deficit, have the deficit sitting there and actually do the works that are needed, because I think that's what our community wants. They want council doing the works that are needed. So we did get just under $2 million. I think it was $1.9 million recently from the state government to assist with our pothole repairs. That's part of a program that they've run statewide. It'll be put into our road maintenance budget and allow us to make sure we get the best bang for our buck in actually doing those works. I am quite disappointed though that having looked at the program and announced, it was spoken about originally as being out of the $500 million they gave statewide. There was going to be $280 million go to regional areas and 220 to the city, which sounds good. Sounds like there's more money for regional areas, but when you look at it, it's per kilometre. So this is a program that councils get paid per kilometre of road that we've got, and we've got just over 1,000 kilometres of local and regional roads. Now, for every dollar we're getting, metro-based councils in Sydney are getting over $5. They're getting 5 times or more than 5 times what we're getting per kilometre to fix the potholes, which I think is pretty outrageous. It should have been a flat rate across the state.
It's unfair.
When you're fixing potholes, it doesn't matter whether you're doing it in Sydney or Cessnock, it's the same amount of money. And so one of the examples I saw was, as I said, we've got over 1,000 kilometres of roads. We got 1.9 million. Wallandilly, I think it was they've got about 850 kilometres of road, so a bit less than us. And they got about $9.5 million. So it's a really big difference, and something that I really think needs looking at, because our regional areas, we suffered hugely up here from the natural disasters and the rain that we've had over the years, and our councils have to maintain these huge kilometres of road network, and we're getting ripped off compared to city councils. So I really think the government should be looking at at that side of things. But I do want to say some nice things though about the government. We did get just a $16.8 million grant that council will be putting in as well. I think we'll have to look at about just over 17 million ourselves to put into that for Wallumbye Road. Now, it's a huge issue. Traffic congestion along there is crazy. I live in West Cessnock, as you know, and it's turning out there onto Wallumbye Road. It's hard to get out of a morning. You're just reliant on the goodwill of people to let you in.
So what things are you planning to...
So these were things that were actually put in the ideas a long time ago as part of the planning agreement with the developers of those Bellbird estates. And so there's requirements in that to look at making Wallumbye Road 4 lanes and upgrading some intersections. So this grant's looking at going from the Pickled Pig near the Australia Hotel through to Abbotsford Street, which is just near the Bellbird Hotel.
Oh, right, yeah.
So looking at going through there, making it available for 4 lanes, upgrading some intersections. So it'll be at about $34 million. This is probably one of the biggest projects we'll have done as a council and managed like that. So it's a much needed. Hopefully it'll go a long way to addressing the traffic congestion along that road, and seeing some improvements. Now we're also looking at doing works. We're out at the moment waiting on the finalisation for the traffic and transport strategy, and it'll let us know some of the other things we've got to do about the links back into Wallumbye Road, but also the works we need to do from there, the Pickled Pig Australia Hotel through to Allendale Road and the swimming pool. So we need to do those works, and we are looking at those works as well to keep it going, because we don't just want to shift the bottleneck from one point to the other. We need to make sure that it can get through to that intersection.
Well, at the moment, you've got to rely on somebody being kind enough to let you get in off those offside streets.
That's exactly right, and I want to say thank you to the person that let me in this morning and waved me through to get here for the interview today. So it's it's something that we need to do. And what we'll be making sure of, though, is not due to start, I think, till about the middle of next year, the works, but we'll be working with the community in the lead up to that to talk about what the impacts are going to be, how the things are going to look at taking into their feedback to these works as well. So there'll be a lot of community consultation, but it's something that I think really needs to happen. The traffic congestion is really bad there, and it's a requirement through the planning agreements that were quite a long time ago. It was probably from your time on council. Those developments were approved many years ago, and it's something that we've as the town's growing, we need to make sure the infrastructure grows with it. And I'm still committed to looking at the ring road that we've been talking about before, and following the traffic and transport strategy. We're looking at the concept design, so it'll flow on from that, the concept design for the ring road, because it's really important to get in and something that's going to be, I think, needed. And so we need to lock in the routes for that now for planning reasons, so that we can say, okay, this is where it's going to go, and slowly chip away at delivering it.
That sounds great.
So that was the meeting, and the exciting news on what we can do on Wallumbye Road. There was we also recently just had the Australia Day Awards and celebrations, citizenship ceremony. It went, it was a really fantastic day. We had local residents, Bob Bedford was named as the Citizen of the Year. Pam Snadden is the Senior Citizen of the Year, and Kayla Romanak, who was named as the Young Citizen of the Year. So they all do fantastic work across our community.
And congratulations to the three of them too.
Yeah, and there was some other great community awards and environment awards and lots of that. So they're really good. I encourage people to go on and see on Council's Facebook page or the website about the awards and who was given what award, because there were lots of people that do such fantastic work for the community.
About how many other awards did you give out this year?
I think it was about 8 or so. There was some individual awards. There were some awards for organisations. There was like environment and heritage awards. So it was a really good day. And I encourage people to start thinking about now on the way through the year of work that some of our local residents do, and submit a nomination for them. You can put in nominations for people from now. Go on, you can get the information on Council's website and put in an application for these things, because there's a lot of so many the unsung heroes of our
put
community.
Them in this early.
Yeah, we want to get people thinking about it through the year, to make sure there's that everyone gets recognised, and not having sort of a short time period where people get busy or forget, and then you end up with people missing out on being nominated. So we want to see when people are doing good work and have done good work,
they put it in early.
Put it in.
Otherwise they overlook it sometimes.
That's right, yeah, while they're thinking about it, and get it in. And while we're talking about good work, the floods that went through, as we know, last year and the year before, through the Wollombi area, and up through into Broke and the Singleton area as well. They did a lot of damage to farms and properties out in those areas, around fences and things. So we've been really fortunate now. We've got some Blaze Aid volunteers. They're coming along. They're setting up camp out at Millfield. And they'll be doing work out in that area and through the Wollombi area and through the Singleton area, volunteering, helping people that have had damage from these natural disasters.
There was a lot of damage out there, wasn't there?
There was, huge amounts of damage. So they'll be going along and helping people do the work to get things back up and going. Because when you've had that kind of devastation, it's hard to get in and pick it up and do it yourself. So these amazing volunteers are coming around. They're helping out, and so they're going to be setting up base at Millfield, the oval there. And so we're having tonight, I think it's from 6 o'clock. We invited the local Millfield residents to come along to the barbecue as well and join with us for a welcome sort of get together for these volunteers, and say thank you for the work they're doing, and also just to let the Millfield residents know that why we're setting up a camp and caravan park thing in their community, and what these people are doing around our town. So it's really great to see the fantastic work that's going to be done, and we're really appreciative of the assistance. It's a great idea, and so it's supported by the state government through and our council and Singleton Council as well. And so I think the Mayor of Singleton, Sue Moore, will be coming along and joining me as well this evening.
Because there was a lot of damage out there that you could see on the television even, that has still to be repaired.
Yes, that's right. It takes a long time to get in and get these repairs done, and when you're looking at it and you've got these properties and if there's been damage done to the house, well, that's got to take the first priority.
That's right,
and you can't even think about what you're doing to the fences and all of the other things around the property. So it's important for for those people to get things back up and running,
for sure.
and that's why the volunteers are amazing, and can't say thank you enough for them coming to our town to help out.
Oh no, it sounds like it's a very commendable thing for them to be doing anyway.
Yes. Well, that's it.
That's it
from me.
Okay, just a question.
Yep.
What is happening next door to KFC? Everybody keeps asking what's happening there.
I believe it's a Taco Bell.
Oh, right.
Yes, yeah. It was originally looked at, I believe it was originally looking at a Hungry Jack's, but that's now going at the end of Mount View Road, so the old Sylvester's Bakery block there. There'll be the Hungry Jack's and going in there, but I believe there's a Taco Bell going in next to KFC there.
Well, you've answered a question a lot of people keep asking.
Yes.
So, well, thank you for that, Jay. It's been wonderful of you to come in and let our people know what's happening around this glorious place of Cessnock.
Thank you, Catherine, for having me. It's always great to be with you. And
hopefully Warren will be in next time that you come in.
Yes.
Thanks.